Hi everyone, Dorota International nail artist and educator here, and today we will be playing with some Halloween nail art. Have a preview of it in here. Pretty effective design, and I hope you really enjoy learning it. If you do, let me know in the comments what else you would like to see it, and also don't forget to hit the share button for me. So let's start. This is actually awesome colors for Halloween, and I will show you how to achieve this look. So first of all, we need to start painting our tips, and the base I have choose is almost naked, 216. So remove any dust, and then let's paint the color. I love this collection because it has an absolutely amazing coverage. It always looks fantastic, so you can see it like how good the coverage is on those colors. So just working through my color. You don't want to apply it too thick, like with any kind of gel polish. If you do apply it too thick, it will wrinkle. So we want just enough to give us a nice coverage in a one layer. And then cook it. So that is our first step. Then in the meantime, we are gonna grab some pigments, and we do have them on our website as well. So I'm gonna work with some pink, and I'm gonna work with some orange. This combination looks absolutely fantastic. Then grab my tip and apply some top coat over it. The reason why we want to put the top coat over it is you want to have the rest of the tip nice and clean. So I'm just taking a high shine no wipe top gel, and there will be a question which I always get, like, why don't you apply the matte top coat? Yes, you could apply the matte top coat, but I find it like that's the matte top coats have a tiny bit of the inhibition layer, and that's mean like the pigments will stick in there as well, and you don't want them to transfer like on those clear parts. So this is really important, and that's the easiest way for me to achieve this look. Once the top coat is cooked, you just take a tip and you give it a buff to it. Now, buffing is really important, so I use the gray buffer, which is 100 by 180. Ideally, the one which isn't brand new, okay? Because then when you do file it, you are not gonna create scratches on your tip, which means it is gonna be nicely smooth without of too many scratches. Okay, this one should be ready as well, so I'm just gonna show you on that one. You've got all shiny surface, and then you just give it nice scratches to it. So the things look good. The reason, so we could possibly even don't scratch it, but the gel works the way that you want to have either a sticky layer or a scratch layer. So that's why we are creating this scratches, so the next part is gonna stick into it. That's really enough, so clean it, because our pigment is not gonna take on the shiny places. On our mixing palette, we are gonna grab the French gel, and I love it, guys, like for doing those kind of designs with the pigments. This gel is just perfect because it cures with very little inhibition layer, and this is really important. So we have done the pinky and we have done the ring finger. Now it's a time for a middle finger. And on the middle finger, I'm just gonna go with some French. So just clean the things, and then using the D-liner brush, we are gonna outline the first French. So I had some black in it, you can see it. Even if we clean the brush, if you do not pick it up the previous, like if you don't pick up the paint you're gonna use, it will still have some residue from it. I'm just kind of picking up a middle and then dragging my smile line, so one side, and then do the other side. Work close to the smile line. I'm not too fussy about it, like really, and then just color it in. So this is quite a decent size of the tip. We can still use the D-liner brush to color all in. And I find that if I do work through like close to the smile line first, then I can work faster just at the free edge. Okay, make sure it's kind of even. And then give it a cure. Now the curing is really important for this technique, so you want to cook your tip like double cure, just so you've got little inhibition layer. Now on this one we are gonna draw some pumpkins. So the first one, I wanted it to be here, and then just color it in. Again, just so I can speed up, I'm outlining a little bit thicker and then color it in. With the pumpkin, actually, I'm quite okay to have those wee lines. I think they look pretty cool. And then here we are gonna have some black detail. So just on the side, I'm gonna start painting another pumpkin. Just enough so you still can have those middle empty. Okay, really important. You want to have those middle empty. And basically what I'm doing is I'm painting almost like a heart shape for the pumpkin. Doesn't matter if they join in because we will separate them with some black. Okay, so we've got two pumpkins, one which is on the side and the other one which is in the center. Let's cure it again. And then on the thumbnail, we are gonna go just a simple French again. So just pick up a decent amount. Do those sides. So I'm always, when I'm doing it on the client, I would start like nice and neat on the sides. And I also find it like painting the French is pretty easy if you do, so like this point needs to be at the same height. So I'm just kind of following like this, find the same heights and then almost drag it into a V shape. Concentrate on those sides. And then let's make it smile line. So for smile line, I need to pick up my middle point. So my middle point is here. I always do this dot like kind of lower. I mean, quite often I actually don't do the dot. I just kind of imagine it, but I wanted to show you how I'm painting the smile line. And then just join the things together. Color the French in. You could do it with the large brush, so I actually don't want to go and search it. I will lose so much time searching it. But when I'm doing it on the client, quite often I would use the angular French gel brush because it's faster to color the entire tip, especially when we've got such a big size. But the D-liner is nice to create those smile line on. So there we are. And then give it a cure to it as well. So as I say, double cure, which will be 120 seconds. Okay, and then when the first tip is ready, just grab it. And I'm just using the eyeshadow brush. Grab some dry wipes. This is really important, like that your wipes are dry so you don't have inhibition layer in there. And then pick up some orange first. And I'm just gently applying my orange in. Clean it and pick up some pink. So I clean it my brush because otherwise I would have too much orange in there. And then just brush it over. Blend it. To make the pigment successful, like as I say, you need to have a very little inhibition layer, and you need to pick up a very small amount of the product as well. Now, because I had the High Shine No Wipe Top Gel, there is no inhibition layer in here. I can just easily clean it off from my tip.
Before curing?
We don't have to cure it. So we don't have to cure the white French is already cooked. And the longer you cure it, the less inhibition layer you are gonna have to which the things can smash into it, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab another tip, put this one on the side, take my brush, and I can see it. This one is a bit too shiny, so I'm just gonna recook it quickly. A couple seconds longer. And the French one on the thumb, so again, just clean it. Grab the orange one. And then the pink one. Blend it. Clean it. Just gonna touch up more with pink. And then we can just remove the excess of it. Just clean tiny bit, and then grab some black so we can outline our design. The black gel I'm gonna use is the black foil gel, and then we can start painting the first tip. So I'm just cleaning my brush, grabbing the black, and then start painting the spider web. Just follow the smile line. Then right in the middle, we are gonna do the first line. And then some other ones, so leave a gap and go at the angle. Leave a gap and go at the angle. If you want to paint a nice and thin lines, prep your brush when you're picking up your gel so it's nice and thin. Like I kind of drag it through the paint. I'm gonna show you that. So I'm just dragging through the paint. And then we are gonna paint inside the web. That looks just cool. I don't think they look scary. I think they are pretty cute Halloween nails. That is great, so we just have to do one more and then cure it. Grab our pumpkins, so I'm just gonna give it a tiny more wipe to it. if you do get that smudge, it means you have bring kind of inhibition layer from the French gel into the brush, and then that's what caused us. So try to clean the brush properly every time. Now I have removed a tiny bit of my pigment, but I'm not worrying about it because we are gonna outline it with the black. So this is our pumpkin number 1, and this one is on the front. Okay, and then pumpkin number 2, which is on the back, just outline it in those heart shape. And then we are gonna add some detail. So inside, from those heart shape, you want to do one line like this, and then another one which goes opposite direction. Let's make this one longer, and another one. Same in here. So 1, 2, 3, and then coming up from the bottom, almost in between. Okay, let's do the swirly beads. So first of all, I'm gonna paint like a wee triangle shape. And then swirly parts. So for swirly parts, I want to remove any excess of the product from my brush and then start painting the twist. I wanted it to be really nice and thin. We've got 1. And second one. Add a tiny wee spider web. Don't paint it too thick, like really tiny one. Just because on those tips it is all about the actual pumpkin, not the spider web. And some stars. Okay, just drag them in. And give it a cook. So they're really not scary pumpkins. Grab this one. That's too much, so I had like a large blob, which would cause a really ugly line. I have just removed that. And then the spider web. So like lines. I think the spider webs are pretty easy to paint. You cannot really go wrong with them. And then just those wee wavy lines. Great, let's give it a cook, apply the top coat, and then that's us almost done. So I'm just gonna clean the pigments, and normally, guys, you have seen me using baby wipes underneath, or even clear, like a page from the paper. The reason for it is the pigments can be extremely messy, so it's good to have it. I wasn't sure if I want to go for some matte top coat or a shiny top coat, but decided to go for a shiny look because I think it looks really nice and pretty as well. So apply it in. Check how the light reflects. Oh no, pigment from underneath. Well done, me. So yeah, I had lots of pigment underneath of that tip, so we need to clean it now, which, lucky me. So I have to clean my brush. So at least now I know, like, there is lots of pigment underneath of the actual, that's what I have grabbed in. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the wipe and I'm just brushing away that, but you cannot touch the places where you've got the actual pigment because you would just remove it. There we are, and then fix the top coat. Of course, we love when the things happen on the camera. Let me brush that away. And that was such a nice tip. Okay, happy with that, give it a cook. And grab another ones. So we've got the pumpkins ready. I make sure I don't spread any pigment over it because it's a nice design. I don't want to be fixing it. I actually really love those pumpkins, not scary at all. Check how the light reflects. This light reflection is so important as well, like when you start taking the pictures. If it is not nice and even, it will look really ugly. So remember that, guys. Again, I have to be very careful to don't catch the pigment which is on the side of the tip. It doesn't happen on the client, it's just on those display tips. There was lots of pigment going underneath. Check how the light reflects, and then give them all final cook so I can show you all the set together, because then the things looks even prettier. So that's the middle finger. I've got it here. Very simple look. Then we've got our awesome pumpkin. Sorry guys, you can hear me giving funny noises each time when I twist with that arm. I love this this one so much. And then the thumbnail, very simple, guys. That's what we have created today, and I hope you have enjoyed this easy Halloween but also pretty design. Sending you glittery hugs, and bye for now.